Type Podcast.
Here we go. Hello, hello, around the block and around the world. This is the Just My Type podcast where we discuss all things diabetes. My name is Dobie Maxwell, representing Type 2. My partner, representing Type 1, the vivacious, the effervescent, the always in the know, Sammy Parker. We'll get to Sammy in seconds. But first, today's episode of Just My Type is sponsored by the Diabetes app. It's a free social community app that brings together both Type 1 and Type 2 diabetics, plus their supporters. Find community, resources, and Sammy and I on the Diabetes app. What's up, kid?
Hey, how are you?
How is your blood sugar? I always ask it at the top of every episode. I want to know how you're feeling because that kind of gives the mood for the rest of the broadcast.
I'm feeling great today. I'm 155 and I'm feeling vibrant.
Effervescent, sassy,
yes,
spectacular.
that's my word, vibrant today.
Our whole goal here of the podcast is to educate, entertain, and enlighten. We hopefully do all of them on every episode, but sometimes if you can just catch one, that's a good thing. Today, we're going to educate. Sam, you're going to let you take over diabetic jargon.
Yes. So something I found over my 9 years of dealing with diabetes was that every year I gained some new vocabulary in the diabetes language, which was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I've added quite a few terms, but it's funny because I think the diabetes community honestly has its own language and it's kind of entertaining sometimes. It can be used to crack some jokes, but also just it's easy to say it and you don't have to say the full words of certain stuff. But have you ever, Dobie, been around like people speaking diabetes language or no?
Well, it's funny to me that every subtopic, whatever you call it, of humanity has their own jargon. Regionalisms have their own thing. Now, you grew up in California, correct?
Yes.
Now, I grew up in Wisconsin, and we have people listening from all over the world. Now, where I come from in Wisconsin, for example, a bubbler means something. Do you know what a bubbler is?
I do not.
You don't. It's a drinking fountain.
Oh, interesting.
You turn it on, drinking fountain. In Wisconsin, Milwaukee, where I grew up, and also in the eastern part of the United States, in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, a bubbler is a drinking fountain.
Okay.
And everywhere else, a bubbler has a completely different meaning, at least in North America, where I go. Do you have any idea what that would be? It's not a drinking fountain. It is a bong. That is an apparatus used to smoke marijuana. For you people that are waiting for church to start, you didn't know what a bong was. I had no idea. I'm a cheesehead from Wisconsin. A bong is a drinking fountain. So I walk up to a total stranger. I said, buddy, can you tell me where I can find the nearest bubbler around here? He said, dude, I got one in my car.
Wait, that's so funny. I've never heard that.
You got a bubbler in your car? What do you do? Yeah.
Wow.
How about this? An ATM. You know, an ATM where you put your card in, you get money out. What's that called in California?
ATM.
ATM? Okay, there's around America, there's different words for it. In Michigan, it's called a cash station. That's what they call it.
Oh, no. I normally say, where's the nearest? Or I say, where's the nearest? And then I say, like B of A, even though like it might not be B of A Bank.
It's Bank of America.
Bank of America, but I say B of A.
People always say, where's my ATM machine? No, it's an ATM, automatic teller machine.
Yes.
Or my PIN number. No, it's your PIN.
Yes.
Personal identification number. Well, anyway, in Wisconsin, it's called a time machine.
Wow.
I'm not making TYME. That's where it was invented on Wisconsin history today. But growing up, everybody called it a time machine. Take your money everywhere. That's what that stands for. It's an acronym.
Wow.
So the first time I went out of town, I walk up to somebody, can you tell me where I could find the nearest time machine around
That's
here?
so funny.
It's like, did you try the spaceship that dropped you off? Yeah, hillbilly, what's wrong with you? So my point is there's jargon, there's regionals everywhere. Let's get to diabetic jargon, type 2, type 1. So if you're not a diabetic and watching the show, and we certainly hope that you are and enjoying it, we want to educate you so you can talk diabetic when they're in the inner circle.
Yes. Okay. So the first one, and I think the way I want to do it is I'm going to say the word, Dobie, and then I'm going to have you try to guess what that word means. We're going to like play dictionary.
So I'll play the dummy. Okay.
I say the word, you say the definition.
I'll say the definition, and I'll get it wrong, and you'll tell us right, and we'll all learn something.
It's like we're in grades K through 12 again. So, okay. First one is diaversary. Can you guess what that means?
Well, in my humble mind, a diaversary would be the date that you get diagnosed.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Yay, that's good.
Okay, next one is a D-bag.
A D-bag.
And I know that can go a couple different ways, but it's a D-bag.
It was funny to me because people have called me that in the diabetes, where, like Dobie D kind of thing, and I thought they were insulting me.
No.
Yeah, so a D-bag is a container which has all your diabetic equipment, needles and test strips.
Are you reading that off a screen?
I'm not.
That was too good. No. The word a container. It sounded too sophisticated.
Well, I didn't want to say a bag.
It's a bag. A D-bag.
It's a bag.
A bag that contains all the diabetes goods.
A designer bag, a Gucci bag. Okay.
Yes. So that's called the D bag. So I'll be like, where's my D bag? I don't really use that one that often,
Yeah.
but I kind of like it and I'm going to start like implementing it,
But it's cool. I just thought there was a personal insult. That's why I knew that one, because I thought they were making fun of me.
It's not. Okay, my next one. Who's a diabuddy?
Diabuddy. This one's not that hard. It's a person. Well, you're my diabuddy now. You have diabetes.
Yeah. Okay, we're diabuddies.
We don't have the same type, but we can still talk about things. And it's like I can talk to you
No.
like, yeah, Sammy's my diabuddy.
Yeah, we're diabuddies. So anybody listening, your diabuddy, anybody you know that you're friends with that's also got diabetes, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 1 and a half.
Would our listeners be diabuddies?
Yeah, they're all my diabuddies.
Okay, mine too.
That's all of you guys. You're all diabuddies.
We have to remember all their birthdays and send them all holiday cards
Yes.
too.
Okay, my next one I love is a hypo hangover.
A hypo hangover.
Hangover.
Is that when you're hypoglycemic and you don't take your insulin and you're feeling bad about it?
Well, Dobie, we're gonna skip over that one
Am I wrong?
because if you had a hypoglycemia means you have a very low blood sugar. So if you took insulin, you'd probably be like,
Low blood sugar.
done.
Oh, okay.
You'd be flatlining.
Okay.
But
Well, let's not do that.
basically-
Let's educate.
So 2 keywords, hypo and hyper. Hyper means high and hypo means low. So a hypo hangover means you had a very low blood sugar. You were up all night long. You had to keep reaching over, putting your right arm all the way over, grab the glucose tablets, pop them in your mouth, whatever's in sight. And then you wake up the next morning and you're like, holy bleep, I am so tired. I was up all night. My body was shaky all night from being low. Everything was a little blurry because I was low. My body feels like I went through a freaking marathon. That's a hypo hangover.
I feel like that every day, Sammy.
Me too. I felt like that the last 3 days. No shame in it. But I have not felt my best.
I'm just old. That's the only thing. I'm in the shiz, as you said last episode. I'm learning the new generation lingo from you. I'm in the shiz, baby.
You're in the shit.
Well, we're okay now. So hopefully write these down. You can also go to our website, justmytypepodcast.com. If you can't remember them all, if you're hopefully exercising as you listen to us, you can check it out. And so you'll know to train others.
Oh, yeah.
What is that thing, that language that when you learn another language, what's that called?
I don't know.
They do commercials for it all the time. It's like, I can't think of it right now, but you learn another language. You learn Spanish or Russian or French or whatever it is.
Duolingo?
Maybe that's it.
It's an app?
I think it's an app. They're selling it. I've seen commercials for it. So we're going to add diabetic as a lingo, an official language.
I like that. Okay, I have another one.
Okay.
Shooting up.
Shooting up.
Yes. What do you think that means?
If you're a fan of the band Guns N' Roses, that's what they all do before every concert.
That is
shoot up.
accurate.
But it's not in the diabetic. Is it hypodermic needle taking insulin?
Yeah, so I'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to shoot up, Grab my arm, grab my needle, push it in, boom, I'm shooting up.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you're obviously a young person. You're out in
Yes.
public. You say that with these crusty old fuddy-duddies like me. Then say, see that girl over there? She's going to go shoot up. I bet somebody would call the cops on you if they weren't diabetic. They didn't know.
It's one of my favorite things. I'll be like, guys, I'm super high right now. And no, not that kind. I mean, diabetes high. I have a high blood sugar. But the amount of times I've had people be like, she just said she's high out loud. And I'm like, no. Or, you just wait it out, give them 5 minutes, watch them squirm in their pants. And then you're like, you realize I'm like my blood sugar's high. And then they're like, oh my God, I was so worried.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that the whole time.
Yeah.
You fooled everybody else, but I knew.
Yep, that one's another good one. Okay, I have another one, and you have to guess this one.
Okay, I will guess it.
A gusher. What does it mean if you have a gusher?
A lot of things come to mind. I don't want to go there. No, I better go. How about in high school, if you have a large zit on prom night
Oh, wow.
and you pop it, that's a gusher.
Okay, that one is very visual. I was thinking something a little more along the lines.
Well, good thing the one I edited. That's the one.
Yeah, I was thinking along the lines of like a gusher. It's like when you're like finger prick or you give a needle and all of a sudden it's just like blood is spewing out and you're like, oh my gosh, It's a gusher. It's a fountain of blood.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a gusher?
I had my first bleeder, which it's like the same as a gusher, but I had my first bleeder like 2 weeks ago, and I felt like finally I'm a part of the real continuous glucose monitor crew because everyone that normally puts one in ends up bleeding at one point, and I had it, and I was like, this is absurd. It's been 2 years. Why am I not officially in the club? And now I'm in the bleeders club, baby.
This is so bleep. It's so bleep that you're bleeding. You bleeper bleeder. Of course, you're probably wearing light colored clothing, so it goes all over you like a pro wrestling match.
I was like, oh my gosh. And then I just ran in the bathroom and grabbed a tissue and was press and hold.
Was it your finger?
No, it was my arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a nice little bruise there, but it's okay.
And did it scab over?
Yeah, they're my wounds.
Because I think now everybody is so paranoid, and I believe rightfully so, of all the diseases that you can get and hepatitis and all the things through blood transferred illness. And I think people would panic if they see blood at any level.
Yeah. What's funny is I don't, and I think a majority of diabetics too. Like, I'm sure when you finger prick so much and give needles and you're around all these things that should be sanitary, your sanitation scale kind of plummets a little. And you kind of just don't care.
It's like the 3-second rule when you drop food on the floor. Do you have that where you live?
Oh, yeah, we have that. I'm just going to pick it up and eat the blueberry.
My house, it was the 3-week rule.
Oh, Joey, no.
3 weeks. If there's not a spider web on it, no, I'm kidding.
No, it's okay. That's fair.
I'm joking.
Okay, I have another one for you to guess.
Wow, this got a whole term here. We could start our own language.
All right, MDI.
MDI.
DI.
Okay.
If somebody's like, oh, yeah, I'm on MDI. And you're like, that sounds like WebMD. But no, it's MDI.
Muscular Dystrophy International.
No, but those words were very giant. I'm very proud of you for whipping those out. It is multiple daily injections.
Ah, I should have known that.
Yes.
So do you take multiple daily injections? I did for a while.
Yes, because I'm not on a pump. Yeah, you probably did. You probably took the 24-hour insulin, right?
Yeah. And then you alternate fingers and...
Mm-hmm. Yep. Multiple daily injections. MDI. Same with, what do you use to, do that thing to your fingers to get blood? You use a...
Needle.
Pricker.
Pricker.
A pricker.
A pricker to me is there's a weed that grows in the Midwest. I don't know if it's any other parts of the country or other countries, but it's a weed and there's like a little flower on it and there's prickers on it,
like little sharp things?
Little sharp things.
I know what you're talking about. They're like thorns, but baby ones.
Thorns. They're exactly like thorns. And you're a kid in summer camp, and sometimes you run around barefoot and you're playing baseball or whatever it is at camp, and you run into the called pricker bushes, and you step on them with your bare feet when you're 8 years old, and you scream. So that's when you say pricker. That's what I think of.
That's what you think of?
I don't know if anybody else knows what that is.
I just remember being on like a field, like in middle school during PE or elementary school, and like I would step on one that had like a yellow flower on top.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ow. Or I'd fall on it and I'd be like, oh. But those are like the only ones I remember.
So you had them too?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they might be not the same one, but
it's a weed with sharp thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Okay.
That's what I think of. So what is a pricker?
So a pricker is your lancet, which is what you use to finger prick your finger.
Mm-hmm.
But we call it, hey, where's my pricker? Because you're like, yo, where's that thing I get my blood out of? So it's called a pricker.
You think Dracula could probably use one of those? Would be a little bit more efficient, don't you think?
Yep.
So instead of biting necks, a vampire could just put a pricker in there, get a little straw.
Yeah, I
like
know.
those things that you do the juice boxes.
Yeah.
It's more efficient for vampires.
Okay, next one. Diabetes burnout.
That's what our listeners have about 4 minutes into our show. No, I'm kidding. They don't. Joke. Diabetes burnout is when you're just sick of everything and you don't watch your diet and you stop monitoring your blood sugar, glucose meter, and you just go nuts. That's what I think it would be. And I've done that since 2004.
Okay, that one's a fair version. I think.
Is that right? Is it close?
It's pretty close. That's probably like the very, like dramatic end of diabetes burnout.
That's my
because
job.
I think a lot of people with diabetes burnout like still take, if you're type 1, you still have to take your insulin or else it's just like
lights out.
Shiz is going to hit the fan,
Shiz going to hit the fizz.
So shiz going to hit the fizz. So that's why diabetes burnout, you still are taking your medication and all that, but you're just like, your head's going to explode. It's going to splatter all over the walls. You just want to crawl up in a bowl and watch TV and not have to deal with it.
I think that's why this podcast is here, is to create a community.
Yeah.
Because like yourself, you talked about you're the only person in your family that was diagnosed. I'm the only person in my family that was. I am alone a lot of the time as an entertainer touring all over the place, to have at least somebody to say, hey, I know you're feeling burnout. I felt it too.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'm not feeling it now, so I can bring you up rather than the person with diabetes or burnout, rather,
Totally.
bringing everybody down.
1000%. Yeah. It's a real thing though. It happens honestly.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I get the really bad ones, like once every couple months, and it's like the whole thing, like the tears, the water fountain is unleashing. It's like it's a hot mess. Nobody wants to be around me. And then I have like the mini ones that are just like, I get in my car and I'm like, oh my God.
Well, no offense, I'm not trying to be sexist, but every girlfriend I've ever had has just what you described,
Yeah.
and they weren't diabetic, and they, everything that you just said. So I thought it was me.
Yeah,
But
no,
maybe they're diabetic.
I honestly applaud the boyfriends that date people with diabetes because you already have to deal with the period, menstrual hormones, and now you got the diabetes one, and it's like you just can never win.
Well, two words will trump all of that. Trust fund.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, she's not that good looking, but she's got a trust fund. And she's diabetic, and
She's got this, but it's
she's
fine.
at the shiz.
My motto.
Now, how long is this typically last? Seriously, I mean, I know we're having fun, but we're not making fun. This is a very real thing.
Yeah.
And I think, blood sugar obviously makes up your mood. And I'm sure we'll do another episode about depression and diabetes.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. I've suffered from depression for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Creative types tend to do that. What do you think a good way to get out of that is, the diabetic burnout?
I think honestly, sometimes, and this is so bizarre, but for me, if I have like a device like a CGM connected to me or whatnot in certain things, or have my watch on me and it shows my blood sugar number, I almost try to like remove all that. And I know some people would be like, why are you removing that? That's like shows you your blood sugar. But sometimes I just need like a mental break because it's almost more toxic to me having it right next to me and staring at it 24/7.
Sure. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I need to like escape. Like I'm gonna go for a drive, leave my phone at home so it disconnects from my CGM. I'm gonna do all that and I'm just gonna drive and relax because you just need to like get into that Zen mode sometimes.
It's almost like rebooting your computer, don't you think?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or you're shutting your phone off, turning it back on. Hopefully it'll plug together all the synapses that need to go together.
Exactly. Yep. What do you do normally?
When I have the burnout,
Mm-hmm.
shut off. I think that's a natural thing to do, is to shut off. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there needs to be at least one person. My grandpa told me when I was a kid. I love my grandpa. As long as you watch his podcast, I'll be telling things that he told me when I was a kid that have started as an acorn and planted as seeds of trees of wisdom. But he always told me that if one other person can believe in you and you can trust that person, you can make it. Doesn't matter who it is, you need one. So hopefully in the diabetic world, you'll be mine, I'll be yours, and together we'll be that of our listeners.
Duo, baby. Diabetes duo.
That's it. Well, we're going to be right back. Sammy's came up with a fun new feature here on the Just My Type podcast. We're glad you're listening. She's Sammy. I'm Dobie. We'll be right back after this very important word from our sponsor. The Diabetes app is an online community platform that was created to help people living with diabetes find support and information in one spot.
And on the Diabetes app, you can join groups and connect with other people all over the world who are also living with diabetes. I mean, for me, whenever I have a bad day, I find myself scrolling through the mental wellness group just to reassure myself that I'm not alone.
The Diabetes app has a resource section where you can find articles, recipes, tips, and tricks for managing your diabetes. Download the Diabetes app today and connect with us right on the app.
DiaStrong is an online telehealth platform that connects you to medical and holistic professionals to help you manage your diabetes. Find registered dietitians, nutritionists, certified diabetes educators, and more without the hassle of having to go into a doctor's office.
Wait. You mean a lazy bum like me can have appointments right from my computer? Sign me up.
That's right, Dobie. And this week, our listeners can use promo code JMT25 for 25% off their first visit.
Yeah, don't try to cheat and go to JMT26 because you're not going to get 26. It's 25. Go to www.diastronghealth.com. That's www.diastronghealth.com. Okay, we're back. Sammy, I think I'm having diabetic depression.
Diabetes depression from all the words?
No, because I'm having so much fun in this episode. It's going to end soon, and I don't want it to end soon. I want to stay on. Have our friends like the party.
Oh,
the party's almost over.
Pre-podcast ending depression?
Pre-podcast ending yes. In comedy, it's called premature ejaculation. That means you're going to have to go home because the jokes are out. But we're doing a podcast. Now, you came up with a really fun feature.
Yes.
And I want to play this. I'll let you lead it because I got mine ready to go.
All right. So I came up with this great game. I didn't come up with it, but I'm bringing it on the show. But it's 2 truths, 1 lie. Everyone's like, I know what that game is. Is she dumb? No, I'm not dumb, but I think it's fun. And it'll help you guys get to know us, and we want to hear from you guys. It'll be great. A little this for that. So, Dobie, how it's going to work. I'm going to say 3 things, and you are going to guess which ones are truths and which one is a lie. And then you're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to guess.
Okay, that sounds fun. I'll let you go first. Ladies first.
Thank you. So kind. So, I have grown up dancing my entire life.
Okay, that's one of your statements.
I have been to more than 12 countries,
Okay.
and I have gone skydiving.
Gone skydiving. Been more than 12 countries, grew up dancing, and you grew up. I'm going to say the false one is you have been to more than 12 countries. That's my guess.
How did you know that? That was really good. I've been I think to pretty, a high number, but not 12. That was impressive.
But I just think it's easy to fudge numbers. See, just like diabetes, you can fudge your numbers. Well, my blood sugar was 116. No, it was 611. You got the numbers right. You just didn't get it in the right order.
I thought you would think skydiving.
No, because you said it pretty confidently.
Dang it.
I had a friend. Now, I wrote a book. I'm not going to plug my book on you, but the book was about my best friend since we were kids robbed a bank that he used to work at. And he did it twice, same bank twice. And he tried to blame one of them on me. I had to wear a wire for the government. I'm not wearing one now, to get him to confess that he did it. And I ended up sending my best friend to prison for 6.5 years. That is a true story.
Oh my God.
The point I'm trying to make is he was a thrill seeker. My best friend since kid. Mm-hmm. He liked, fast motorcycles, mm-hmm. and he liked anything that was a rush. And skydiving was his thing, and he would pay to go skydiving. And he tried to get me to do it. I said, I'm not jumping out of a plane on purpose. I'm not doing that. And he would tease me. Oh, come on, man. What do you know, man? What are you doing? So one day, in the front page of our local newspaper in Milwaukee, where we grew up, mm-hmm. the skydiving, the head of the business that had skydivers, dove out of the plane. His chute malfunctioned, and he splattered and died. So I showed that to my friend, who just was stunned. He goes, that's the guy that's been doing it for me all this shit. I guess he mispacked his own chute, didn't open. Pop goes the weasel. So,
oh my gosh, Dobie, my mom is listening right now and is going to be like, this is what I told you. This is why you shouldn't have got.
Well, that's it. But you said it with the confidence that he said it with. That's the only reason I knew that one was true.
That freaks me out. Well,
no,
one and done, baby. I did it and now I'm done.
Well, good. You did it for the rest of your life. Now you can brag, and everybody else is chicken.
Yep.
And I am too. Okay, can I shoot you mine?
Yep.
I will shoot you mine. These 3 statements, and pick which one is false. Okay. I appeared in the movie Rocky IV. Okay. Second one, as a comedian, I was heckled by Donald Trump. Okay. The third one is I had a baseball tryout with the Kansas City Royals baseball team. Those are my 3 statements. Appeared in the movie, heckled by Donald Trump, tryout with the Kansas City Royals baseball team. Where's the fizbib? Fibs is the shiz fib?
I think it's the tryout for the baseball team.
Nope. I really did have a tryout with the Kansas City Royals. I really did.
Which one was it?
The false one was appeared in the movie Rocky IV.
But didn't you appear in a movie?
I appeared in a movie. It was called While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock. I believe it was 1990s. It was in the late 90s, I believe.
Dang it. You know what's funny? I thought that, and I thought it was one with her, but then I was like, he probably did another one.
People have said, they've seen me in the movie. I play a mailman of all things. And I have about probably 5 or 6 seconds on screen. I was supposed to have a line, but it was very cold that day, and they made us fake snow in Chicago. And it was too cold to snow, so they got the snow machine out there, and they put it in there. So it took an hour and a half to film it. And they said, okay, we're running behind. Wow. Okay, mailman, no line, just walk. So I would have gotten my
that's so funny
credit in the movie. And I think I got like $50 in a sandwich. But it was fun to be part of a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
So that's it.
Dang.
So anyway, those are our things. So hopefully you played along. If you want to play, contact us. We would love to hear from you. And right now, we're going to land this mothership, Sammy.
Okay.
How do people get a hold of us? It's always fun. I can't believe it's been over this fast.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, the whole idea is for this to be fun. We're glad you're listening. Thank you.
Yes. So if you guys want to hear more, please subscribe, rate, and review. You can find us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at JustMyTypePod_ and on Facebook at JustMyTypePod. Our hashtag is also JustMyTypePod.
And don't forget our question of the pod today.
Question of the pod is, what diabetes slang term do you use the most? And again, please share and comment with us. We would love to hear it.
And also, please define it, because if we don't know what it is, we say, what is that? It's a bubbler.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do like a diabetes jargon edition segment.
We will. All over the world. What do you say? We'll be back next time. Thank you for listening. And Sammy, one more thing.
Say la vie, baby.
This is the Just My Type podcast.